the company Big Global develops technological products. So in that line of thought, what the company intends to do is implement different tools that can be utilized within the community itself, so that in turn, the people who are part of it can benefit. How so? So, Big TV is becoming a kind of Binance, Bybit. I don't know if any of you use them. Are exchanges. They are regulated exchanges where people conduct different types of transactions. When you make that any type of transaction you do, it's like that intermediary, that bridge between what you need, whether it's buying or selling, holding, or making a market, buy or sell, or holding for a longer time. I don't know, intraday or whatever you want to do. Well, it's that intermediary that allows you to make that purchase and will charge you a commission for it. If you have a trade for days, it will charge you the commission daily. And if you make an immediate buy or sell, it will charge you the same for doing that process. So the idea is, who keeps those profits? Well, Binance keeps them, right? If you make a purchase or you make a transfer, for example, you send, I don't know, 10 USDT to someone, you will see that they charge you 1 USDT for that transfer. That 1 USDT is kept by Binance for those expenses to maintain the platform, to maintain the software. And well, what we intend to do as a company is to do it ourselves so that we benefit from these. Well, it's not a large amount, but little by little it accumulates, right? If the community is larger, if we manage to have, what does a community need? Or what does a company need to have a community, right? And why does it need to have a community? To have volume. By having that volume and handling a good number of transactions, greater commissions will be obtained. And this will keep increasing as people give it usability, okay? So I'm going to share my presentation here to make it a bit more visual, less monotonous. And if you have any doubts, questions, concerns, or suggestions, you can write them in the chat and I will be attentive, okay? I have it here already. I'm going to share it. Also from my family. So as I was saying, what is the name of the exchange? It's called Bitnevex. How can you do it? In a moment, I'll share with you at the end in the chat. I'll leave the link so you can download it and register. It's very simple. It's very easy. You just need to log in and open your app very normally, as you can download it from the App Store on your Android. For iPhone, some adjustments are being made. You know that iPhone is a bit more complicated, but they are working on the wallet. What are we going to see in this training today? Well, we are going to see a brief introduction. We will look at the objective of this exchange, what service it provides. We will review the Commerce platform. We will listen to it. And finally, we will talk about a very powerful alliance that is what makes this exchange backed and gives us the security to use it. So as an introduction, what I had already been telling you, but it's a bit more structured, referring to the fact that, well, it's an ideal platform for trading cryptocurrencies, right? What operations are done? Well, buying, selling of which cryptocurrencies? Well, the main ones, Ethereum, Shiba, Binance Coin, Tether, Ripple, etc., right? The main ones. It got a little blurry there, but it has its physical offices. Here's the presentation. It got covered. But we have a physical office. There's the address, and it's located in the Czech Republic, okay? This will be organized so that you have it clearer. We will see it as an annex to the video because you can follow us on our channels. You see on the YouTube channel, this will be recorded so that you can have it as study material later, okay? So Bitnevex has been established as an exchange in the Czech Republic, okay? Under regulation and not supervision. Here's the document. You can see it on the left of your screens from ESMA, which is the European Securities and Markets Authority, and from MiCA, or the Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation. This speaks very well for us because you know that the crypto market has been gaining momentum. It has been on the rise. It has been gaining positioning as people have been getting to know it by having knowledge. Unfortunately, there are people who use the knowledge for good and others who do not use it in the same way, which is not so good. So it is important that when choosing an exchange, guys, when using any platform, we are sure that it is a reliable platform and that it has these regulations because it can give rise to different types of scams, right? So if there is regulation, if there is supervision, it speaks very well of an exchange or any platform that handles crypto assets, okay? Or in general of the markets. What is the objective? Well, the objective is to create a platform that can be used within the community, that is easy and secure, that is very intuitive, all right? That people feel safe, that it is simple, no matter what level of knowledge you have, whether you have a lot of knowledge or none at all, that you can use this platform, okay? What are the services? Well, we have services, 24/7 support. We have Spot, which is for buying and selling on the market. We have P2P, which is peer-to-peer or person-to-person. So you log in, look for a person if you want to sell. You look for buyers, offer your price, set your price, and buyers will come to you. If you want to buy, then you go to the exchange, look for the profile of the sellers available. You check what level of security they have. Some have a minimum cap to sell. So others have a maximum cap. So you look for the one that best fits, the one that best meets your needs. Then you choose it and start negotiating directly with the person through the exchange. And finally, we are working on futures in USDT. This is under development, which is why we are currently using another platform in our operations. But the idea is to consolidate it, improve it. It is currently in pilot testing and to be able to implement it for us. So it would be then another usability that is being given to this exchange. What is important or what is new that we have here with this exchange? What is there to highlight? There is an alliance and support that is provided because when you have a company and you manage to make negotiations and position it and you give credibility, you develop a whole roadmap or a complete route map that will specify to people what you want, where you are, and where you want to go. And that company or that other business sees or falls in love with that vision you have and says, yes, there is potential. It comes in to support you, not only to give you more renown, but to safeguard capital. That is very important. You have a financial muscle that speaks very well of that company, that gives you support and tells you, look, in case something happens, because we are talking about markets or we are talking about a business, any business, whatever it may be in life, whether it's a traditional business, a digital business, or any type of business you want, carries a risk. Nothing is certain. Well, if there is one thing certain in life, it is only one thing, and that is that we do not return, that our time here on this earthly plane is fulfilled. But when it comes to business, we do take risks. There are risks of a war happening. There are risks of something occurring. Anything that can disrupt normalcy, the normal course of our life. So here we have an alliance and support that is provided by the AMA Investment Group. Ready? Here you can see they have their official site, their official website. Who are they? A family. Ready? They are a family that is in Dubai, who saw what the people from the company presented about what they want to do with this exchange and said, okay, let's go, let's enter, let's bet, let's invest capital in the development of this exchange, because the development of an exchange is a bit costly and it also requires capital, right? So here is the document. To our right, you can verify it. It's on the page, okay? If you want to review it in a bit more detail, it talks about what they agreed upon, one of the parameters under which this alliance is being regulated. So, as I was saying, the important thing here is that they have the financial muscle, okay? Who are they? They are let's see. With you in which the computation will go. Ready? The Soul Tower is driving innovation. They are creating growth for the future. They are visionaries, just like the The guys from the company NV Global LATAM. Who are they? Well, they are one of the most prestigious families in Dubai. They have a presence in different sectors such as energy, health, education, tourism, commerce. They transform projects into sustainable successes, right? Through what? Well, through futuristic alliances, and they turn their investments into an opportunity to thrive, right? So some of the business groups they have include Make or Things, Investment Group, and Real Estate. Some of their companies are here. You can see all of this more, unfortunately, more in detail on their website. So this is one of the most prestigious families in Dubai. They have the financial strength that has allowed them to intervene in all these sectors. So imagine if they are generating, well, from the most important sectors, because what do? Well, provide a service, right? They provide energy services, which is one of the basic services, health services, education services, tourism services. From all of this, they are receiving profits, income. And well, this allows them to have a quite robust financial strength to be able to sponsor projects like this. What else do we have? Well, they have what I was telling you about here. We return to the mention of services that are designed with value, which optimize and drive growth and innovation in different sectors, in the financial sectors, tourism sectors, in the consulate sectors, in the real estate sectors. Yeah, there are incubation projects. They are in many fields. What is their focus? Well, as I was saying, they are futurists and they see opportunities for innovation that they will turn into success stories, into sustainable projects. Well, they wouldn't be projects anymore, they would be sustainable companies. At the moment, they are projects, but they will become a sustainable income for them. Obviously, what do they want? Well, to form an alliance to create a holding company that includes a digital bank to enable cryptocurrency exchange and mining. As I was telling you then, the idea is to eliminate as many intermediaries as possible to achieve greater profitability within the company. Even though it's slightly lagging, now it gets a bit better. Ready? Regarding the theory, that was all I had to offer for today. I don't know if anyone has any questions, if you have any concerns. And we are going to do a review, a little bit of the platform, so that you can get to know it in a general way. And then later take the time, or rather the task of downloading it, registering, and using it, right? It lacks a few things to optimize, but we are working on it, which later on, but for now, we can start downloading it. Similarly, those who are present here and have their work team can guide them on how to develop, how to download it, how to register, so that they are also ready and prepared. Because ultimately, it benefits us as a community. If we don't use it, well, it's very complicated. To make the tool gain strength, right? If we don't promote it ourselves, what could be better? What better advertising method is there other than word of mouth? When you use a service, for example, what we do here, you come to CME Global because someone invited you, someone told you, hey, look at what they're doing. There's a company, we're working on a business that operates this way. It pays 8% monthly on your initial investment. You don't have to buy a license. You can have a referral team. It's a unilevel. You earn a 5% commission for direct referrals. It has a matching bonus and other things that you have already seen and heard about. I invite you to follow us on our YouTube channel, on our different channels, so you can find out, see the relationships we have with the compensation plans, everything we have developed so that you can educate yourself, take these tools, and make use of them. Give me just a second. I'm currently trying to log in, but it won't let me share right now. So here we are now. I left the link in the chat. And here We are going to translate it for the people, most of whom here are Latinos. Now it's night here. And those on the other side are sleeping and resting at this moment, recharging their energy. Let's click where it says access with my saved accesses, and we simply log in. Let's give it a moment to load. So it's a very, 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 very user-friendly platform. Now, as for security, it has what you just saw. For me to be able to log in and use my exchange, I must log in no matter what. Enter the code I received through the message that arrives in my own email. If it's the opposite, then I won't be able to log in. Ready? This tells me that it is very secure. Imagine if I am storing cryptocurrencies there. Well, it's very secure. Until I have the code, it will be difficult for there to be issues with thefts, for someone to rob me, if I lose my phone, X or Y, so many things that happen to us. Well, here, this security method gives us a safe conduct or allows us to have security. I know it's difficult that we calm down, Mrs. Alicia. Have a nice trip. How nice, how wonderful. Someday the same. I am traveling. Ready. Here we have Bitnevex. So what do we have here? We have a panel that tells us if I go here to the top part, right, it tells me my email. It's the same as, once again, the panel. Ready? It talks to me about security. It talks to me about the wallet. It talks to me about identification. It talks to me about a payment. At this moment, I am not going to enter identification because I need to do the verification. As you can see here, I have my user, I registered because I already accessed the account, but I haven't verified myself. This I must, look, it also has two-factor authentication. For those who already use it, it's another code that it will ask me for from Google. So let's say there would already be two codes. It is asking me for to be able to enter. I need identity verification. Just upload my document. Here's the email with which I appear and the time, the date of the last login. It happens to be today. All right, here it is. The balance. The estimated balance I have. Here we have wallets. What wallets do they handle? Well, here we have different wallets. We have different purses, as you can see. I can have money here, money with which I traded a spot. I can have money with which I hold. I can have profits. All of that I can have in different wallets, all right? So that I don't have that confusion of capitals, I can have each one separately. Ready? What do we have here on the panel? Well, here I already stood on the wallets, so it doesn't let me look anymore. I'm going to go back. Well, here, if I select payment, it's obviously to be able to make a withdrawal, right? So I haven't linked, I haven't set up any payment method, which would be bank methods, or it already started asking me for verification. That's where it starts to bother a little. Why? Well, because it's asking me to do it, right? For my security. Well, here on the panel, we have the different cryptocurrencies, okay? We have their symbol, we have the name, we have the balance I have. You can manage it to be visible or you can leave it invisible. As you wish, it's also for security. In case one day at some point you want to show someone, you have capital there, well, you simply don't need to show the amounts, just what people need to have to make use of them. Well, here we have like a quick menu. Here, we unfold the bar, it allows us to the right, and that's it. Here they let us see, you select which cryptocurrency you want. For example, Bitcoin, we have here if you want to transfer, deposit, or withdraw. There you go. Here you have the 3 options. Here it's not letting me withdraw some because they are not yet enabled. As I said, this is a software that is currently in development. Some permissions are needed, certain things, certain requirements, certain parameters are required to be able to have different options active, okay? At this moment, it is not. But as I tell you, I mean, the community, this is a company that has been in the market for months, which is currently expanding. They were only in the part of Russia, United Arab Emirates, and well, by opening up to us Latin America, where we are pioneers, where our president is, well, We created a need, right? What need? Well, to expand the services for us. Why? Well, because there are already more of us and there will be more and more people. So they need to strengthen the software to meet all the needs we have, right? What else do we have here at the top? If we go to the top, we have the market, which is what I was telling you. It gives me the option to have all the cryptocurrencies compared with, well, compared with USDT. I have BNB with VCT, Ethereum with USDT. So here is the last recorded price, the change it had in 24 hours, and whether it is positive or negative. Here we have, this is the company's cryptocurrency, okay? At this moment, it's not yet, look, it's costing 0.85. People who have it can buy it, can hold it. And later on, as there is volume, as there is traffic of people, it will increase in value, okay? We have here the part of the movement in 4 hours. What has been its highest price? What has been its lowest price? The 24-hour volume, okay? And if we go here, we have the next one that says trade. So this is spot, which would be the market, meaning to buy and sell right away. I'm going to click on spot, so it changes for me. It changes the visibility, the overview of the platform, right? And it goes away because it's asking me to log in. But here we are. I don't know if they are doing it right now, if they are starting to do some maintenance on the software, but that's how it looks on spot. So what does it show me on spot? On spot, it shows me the chart. Here I first have the name of the asset I'm on, Ether against the USD. I have a graph that shows me how it has been, what its movement has been in recent days, what's in days, okay? But here I have the possibility to switch to hours and I can see the chart changes. Here it's bearish. The major trend is bearish, but if I switch to hours, I can see that things change, right? It's making a correction within that long 24-hour movement. Ready? The market is fractal, so in 24 hours, its major trend might have been down all day yesterday, but today it decided to correct. So today, it has been on the rise. I can do this in 2 hours, 3 hours, and then it returns because it happens in fractality. So then it is bouncing between supports and resistances. Ready? Support below, resistance above. So it struggles to break through. It must pull back, gather strength to break upwards. And likewise in the opposite direction. Ready? If it is falling, it will encounter a support. So it must rise to gather strength and break it to continue downwards, which is what it wants. Here I continue with the glazes. I don't like to see it in candles. I like to see it this way. In this type of chart, or I like to see it in lines. Personally, I like it in short time frames. For example, here in 30 minutes, let's look at it to see what, well, this would be my support. I also have tools on my left, so I can draw a line. I would say that tentatively here would be my support. Why a support? Because look, it reached here 1, 2, 3 times and it struggled. It had to go back here to gain strength and break through. So very likely, what is it going to do? It's going to come back to look for it again and will rise again. This type of analysis is what allows me to make spot purchases or sales. So I say at this moment, tentatively, it's going to go down. So what do? I go here, I check the price, I'm going to sell. I check if I want to set a limit, if I want to set a market limit. What is it? It's a price that I give to the market. Either way, it's a limit where I say, when it reaches that price, I want my operation to start. So I want it to sell at 1750, okay? When the price reaches or drops to 1750, my order is activated and my take profit will be here at my resistance, okay? 1780. So that's what I'm going to earn. Ready? Then I can do it in the market. I buy once, I enter where it is, or I set the limit because I'm going to do something else and I won't be paying attention. So I leave it set there. Okay, here is the price I want. Here I set the price. So in my case, it would be 1750. I think that's what I told you. Okay, that would be a limit. If I'm going to set a stop limit, it's where the price has already passed. For example, here, it has already passed 1760, but I know it will reach there again, and then it will drop. So 1760, I activate my stop limit. Ready? And that's where it will start to execute the transaction for me. What amount? I must have it defined. I must have a deposit. I must have funds. And I decide if I'm going to put to work 25, 50, 75, 100, or a different amount, okay? And finally, I click on sell. And I want to change. If I don't want to see that Ether chart, I want to see the BNB. Then I simply go there, change the chart, and exactly the same thing happens. Let's wait a moment for it to make the change. Okay. So all these types of transactions, while making the change, I'll tell you all these types of transactions require, if there are many of us doing these types of transactions, we need financial muscle, we need volume in the transactions, and we need a backing muscle, which is what the McDor Group comes to provide. Okay. That's what they come to provide. We have the global development tool, the development of this. We have the people who have designed it, the programmers and others who are working on the improvements of this software. But now we require the community to start using it, for you to be the person who starts trading, who starts using it, who begins to break down how this works, to handle the tool, to tell your team, to encourage the team so that we do it through. I know there are people who use Binance, for example, to do this same type of operations. So why not do it here, which is from the community? Ready? So what is the idea? To approve it. Everything that nothing can be spoken well of until it is tested, right? If you don't know it, how are you going to talk about it? Neither good nor bad. You can't give an opinion. So you must take on the task of using it. Ready? Here it already made the change for us, BNB UCT. Once we are sure the time frame, here it's days, it's kind of sideways. So we can see, roughly speaking, we can say that here at the top, in the bodies of these candles, would be my resistance. And here at the bottom would be my support. Ready? My floor, my ceiling. So the market would be bouncing there until it gains strength. Breaks either upwards or downwards. So in the meantime, I can still have my profit from here, which requires having a bit of knowledge. There are people here who already trade. I know and am aware of people here who make transactions of this type of business, of this type of business, of these types of assets, and they benefit from those movements, right? Well, it comes exactly the same, only the asset changes, right? The rest works with the functionality of Slamix. Now, looking here in trade, I have P2P. As I was telling you, at this moment, we are working on the payment methods. We are improving them. As I say, if we as Latinos come to use this platform, we will be obliged to have them implement other countries. We have seen that the countries are listed here, but we still don't have the volume of people we should have to buy or sell anything. But here we have the option to buy, the option to sell. We have BNB, we have Polygon, we have the period ready. We have here the amount we want. We even have the way we want to buy, the way we want to pay through the bank, through a wallet, the region scene. And here we have the number of orders ready. We can also see here at the top, it will show us the orders we have. Obviously, we don't have any yet, but here it will display the date it was created, the order number, the type of unit, how the price was set, the amount of cryptocurrency, the status, and the operation. It will show us if it was positive or negative, if it was canceled, or if it was successfully completed. This is the one I mentioned that is under development, which is the futures one. That's why it's here in Commonson, because we are in development and very soon we will arrive. The idea is to have it ready for the event that will take place in Antalya. If you want to know more about this topic, look, get excited. I pay for everything to Turkey. How long has it been since you went to Turkey? How long? 8 days? 15 days? A month? Well, but you had to pay out of your own pocket. This time you have the opportunity with NV Global to go with everything completely paid for. Ready? Well, at least the transportation and accommodation expenses, if I'm not mistaken. But that's why I tell you, with the person who works on this business here, who works for the company, tell them, hey, why haven't you told me about the trip to Antalya? I want to go. These trips are not only to fill the album of memories, but they are an opportunity to expand the company for you to go, meet more people, socialize, and perhaps, why not, get more partners, more people who want to be part of your team. look to the other side of the world, and thus you expand your business, your own business, and in the same way, the company grows. What else do we have here? We have other additional trading options. Ready? So here you see these are already like a kind of, well, this is in a way for futures, sort of. This is futures. It's talking to us about multipliers. It's in use, is under development. But here the same, the graph appears to us, so we foresee the same. We do an analysis. This is more interest, more to have an operation of 23 days a week. So because the graph shows us also in color, it seems green, red, because it shows us at what moments in the market it has been lower, at what moment it has been higher, and thus we can make our forecast of what is going to happen with the. Ready? Here, what do we have in tournament or in tournaments? There are competitions. What is the idea of this? To generate volume for people to move, get to know the platform, get to know the tool, and for those who trade the most to have the possibility of obtaining prizes for it. We are also going to handle the gaming part, game prediction. Look, here it is. This is going to be linked. Everything is a gear, right? We have here accompanied by this exchange where you can handle all the traceability issues. We also have a wallet. It's called the NV wallet as well. Yesterday was the training session. We are already editing it to upload it to the YouTube channel. The idea is for you to get to know it as well. There you can safely store your cryptocurrencies with full confidence which one works. It's similar to a trust wallet. It's decentralized and has the added benefit that you can do. You can chat. It has an encrypted chat and you can do contact through your ID with other people, with your partners, with your own team. They can write to you, hey, I'm going to make an affiliation. Send me X amount of OSDT. Once you do it, it's instant, it's encrypted, it has no tracking, it doesn't trace you, it doesn't mean it's not secure. We're talking about third parties or possible hackers, or people who are keeping an eye on your information for not so good things can have access so easily. Ready? This is the advantage. Thank you. That this wallet has. It is also buying part of the ecosystem and the usability we give it, as it will gain importance, and generate sales volume. Ready? What else do we have here? Well, here we already have the part that talks to us about. I will put it in translate just a moment so you can see it. Here we have the platform. We have the description of the launch platform. Here we have forms. We have the projects, which is what I was talking about regarding incubation. And we have the launches or the tokens that are going to be launched. So here very soon we will have, at this moment, they are not active, but there will be the MVX, that is our own token, so that we can buy here, we can have them, and we can do holding of them, or we can buy and sell. Ready? Here, what else do we have? Well, we have the entire part that I already talked to you about at the beginning, about the security part, like about Bitnevex. Here you can review more calmly when you already have and use the link I sent you. All right, here you will have the description of what Bitnevex is. I went on a bit and we're going to miss the 8 o'clock presentation. And let's see, look, here it is. Well, here it tells you that you're welcome. Here are the cryptocurrencies we are trading. Here it talks about the objective, which is what I practically told you at the beginning. Here is all the information I mentioned at the start. You have the possibility to get in touch. Here you have resources. Here is how referral programs work. It also works with referrals. This is a community, all right? I don't know if you've ever heard of the concept of collaborative economy, but that's what it is. Collaborative economy doesn't mean I take from you or I have more than you. It simply means we use the tools and we both win. It's a win-win. You win, I win, okay? That's all. You register with my code. I earn from what you do. Then you have your code. You register your referrals under your code, and so on. We keep getting small earnings. It might not be a large amount, but it adds up, okay? All right, we have all the support section. If you want to send a ticket, if you want to send feedback, everything you want to do, here is all the legal stuff, all the cookie policies, risk warnings, terms of use, refund policies, and here again is the commerce section in case you want to buy. Here is everything for, this is like a quick access, right? To buy. Ready? That would be everything I had to tell you today, what I had to say, so that you have the opportunity to use this tool. I insist, it is very important that we give usability the position it requires, so that we ourselves can enhance it and make it grow day by day. Ready? Does anyone have any questions? I will go. Last time to the chat, complaints or claims, everything clear? Ready. Well, I loved having you today. Since no one has any questions, I believe the information has been clear. Finally, I confirm that you will find this training on YouTube in the playlist called School, all the part of NV School. We have developed all this so that you who are present here and those who could not connect can use it and have it as study material. Have an excellent night. I loved seeing you. Don't forget, 8 p.m. exactly in 15 minutes, we have a business presentation, gentlemen. Don't miss it. All right. Excellent night. See you later.